to worry
Start
about
now.
minutes and seconds. But until then. May all people live in peace, live in justice, live in peace.
May all people live in peace, live in justice, live in peace.
May all people live in peace, live in justice, live in peace.
May all people live in peace, live in justice, live in peace.
May all people live in truth, live in wisdom, live in truth.
May all people live in truth, live in wisdom, live in truth.
May all people live in truth, live in wisdom, live in truth.
May all people live in truth, live in wisdom,
Having a brain spasm at the moment. I can't remember the next chord. I know how it sounds. Ah. May all people live in love, live in kindness, live in love.
May all people
changed the Bible here and put a small print version? Yeah, I thought
Challenge.
it is becoming more challenging all the time. All right. This is a reading from the Gospel of John. This was yesterday's reading, Sunday's reading in Christian churches all around the world. John chapter 18, verse 1. Now Jesus and his disciples crossed the Kidron Valley, and there was a garden there, and Jesus and his disciples entered it. Judas, the one who was to betray him, knew the place well, because Jesus often met there with his disciples. Judas led the Roman cohort to the place along with some temple guards sent by the chief priests and Pharisees. All were armed and carried lanterns and torches. So you got the picture? It's nighttime
A mob.
and the mob is about to descend. Right? But this is the legal mob. This is like ICE.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so here it goes. Then Jesus, who was well aware of what was going on and what was going to happen, stepped forward and said to them, this is one of those moments where you just go, whoa. So instead of stepping back, he steps forward toward them, right? Which could be interpreted as confrontational, right? Or courageous, or foolish. Okay. You take your pick. But he steps forward and he says to the mob, "Who are you looking for?" Okay. Not really. I mean, they're there for him. So he just has to rub it, the little noses in it. You know, said, "Boys, who are you looking for?" It's really kind of comical in a sense. He always was messing with people, like, enjoying it. And for that reason, some people didn't like him. Anyway, so they said, "Are you Jesus of Nazareth?" And then he says, "I am." Now Judas, who was to betray him, was with them. And when Jesus said, "I am," they all drew back and fell to the ground.
Wow.
That's a moment, right? Nobody really knows what to make of that. But those who were there reported this, that when he said, "I am," the mob fell to the ground. Now, you all remember the moment in Moses' experience when he encounters the burning bush, right, in the wilderness. The bush is on fire, but it's not consumed. Right? And the book of the Old Testament says, "And God spoke to Moses out of the burning bush." Right? And so Moses asks the question, "Who are you?" to this voice, to this incredible thing. And the voice comes back and says, "I am." Some translations read, "I am who I am," "I am what I am," but "I am" is the key phrase. Okay. And so somehow God is the deepest, ultimate being is possible, and even beyond possibility. There's no words for it. Jesus is quoting. So he's claiming something here well beyond being a good teacher, well beyond being a nice guy. Jesus was not a nice guy. Okay? So forget that. What he was, "I am." And that's what caused them to fight. Like if he said, if she said, "I'm a nice guy," would they have fallen to the ground? I doubt it. But he claimed something that was impossible and yet wasn't real. And they fell to the ground. Bug. So, after they got up, apparently, Jesus asked them again, the second time, "Fellas, who are you looking for?" I mean, by this time they might have had chairs behind them ready to just collapse into the chairs. And they replied, "Jesus of Nazareth." And he said, "I have already told you that I am the one you want. If I am He's really rubbing their nose in it. If I am the one you're looking for, then let these others go. He's a good shepherd. He may not be nice all the time, but he's a good shepherd. He looks out for the sheep, for those to whom he's responsible. And then Simon Peter, of course, being Simon Peter, he happened to have brought a sword along. He drew it, and he struck the high priest's attendant. Denzel, you should cover your ears at this point. Okay, thank you. Okay. He struck the high priest's attendant and cut off his ear. It's not that bad, but it's violence. And it even gives the name of the attendant. The name of the attendant was Malchus. Poor Malchus is now one-eared Malchus. And Jesus says to Peter, Peter, put your sword back in its sheath. Am I not to drink the cup that God has given me? Now, in another gospel story where this account is given, it says he healed the ear of the high attendant. Okay. In this one, it doesn't mention it. So, Peter, put your sword away. This is going to happen. This is the cup that I'm being given to drink, the suffering that's mine. Then the cohort called, and its captain, the mob, and the temple guards, it's like the local police and ICE, basically, seized Jesus and bound him like he was a threat. And they took him first to Annas. How do you pronounce that without getting into trouble?
Is there an I in it?
No, it's just A-N-N-A-S.
Oh, yeah.
So it's Annas?
Annas.
Okay, sure. This is not the bottom of everybody, right?
There's no you.
Oh, thank you. So, they took him to Annas. Annas was the father-in-law of Caiaphas, who was the high priest that year. And it was Caiaphas who had advised the temple authorities, and this is where it gets really interesting. Caiaphas had said, do away with this Jesus, for it's better to have one person die rather than all the people. Why did he say that? Do you remember? Because Rome, if there's trouble in the local jurisdiction, right, that the Jewish authorities are supposed to rule over, if there's trouble there they can't handle, Rome has to step in. And Rome doesn't like to step in. They don't want to bother. And if they're forced to bother, then they could come down on the whole Jewish people rather than just the one. So the high priest says, hey, give Jesus to them and we'll be done with this, and then we don't have to deal with it. We won't all get in trouble. Okay. So that's the passage that was read yesterday. And any thoughts on that?
It's interesting to think about some of the differences, some of the things that are said in other Gospels on the same story. We don't have Judas kissing him here.
No.
This one, to me, feels more realistic. Like if I was there and somebody, you know, I wasn't in the garden, but I was living at that time, and somebody came running and said, well, this is what happened, and reported it this way, it would feel more believable than what some of the other stories have been.
Any other thoughts? So the point of this story, I think, is to share with you that Jesus knew what was coming. He knew he was going to suffer. He didn't run from it. It wasn't cowardly. He was courageous. He knew what crucifixion was. It was the most horrible way to die. We won't go into the gory details. But it was the most horrible way to die. And he faced it. At one point he asked if it could be removed in his prayer to God. But apparently the answer was no. This is going to happen. And on he went. So he faced it. He faced reality. He faced the suffering that was his to face. And when he encountered people who were about to inflict that suffering on him, he did not treat them with anything other than compassion, really. Who are you looking for? It's almost like he's doing a little dance. Okay, boys, you looking for me? And it's obvious they're looking for him. So he's got this compassion, I would call it, this wit, this gentleness about him. And he directs it at the very ones who are inflicting harm on him, which is really interesting. Peter, of course, had another way of dealing with reality, which is always violent, it seems. And he exercised that option. But Jesus corrected him, didn't he? It's like, no, the violence thing is not going to work. It never does. We think now that by bombing Iran, it's going to bring peace and democracy. Really?
Yeah.
Seriously? Has it ever? No. So Jesus would say, put your bombs away. You know,
Wasn't it another version that said, you that live by the sword will die by the sword?
Yeah.
The same thing.
yeah.
You're just gonna create
Yeah.
violence
Yeah.
for you too.
Right, you either live by the bomb or going to
Yeah.
die by the bomb.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, get us out of that one. You know? So that's the story. And it goes on. If you want to read further, it's John chapter 18, and it goes into quite a lot of depth in the moments following that. But the question Jesus asks is, who are you looking for? It's a question that he asked throughout his whole life. Okay? And it's the same question he asks us. Who are you looking for? So we'll leave it at that. Let's turn in the songbook and sing a song to close tonight. Page 40. Page 40. Make me an instrument of your peace. The words are attributed to St. Francis of Assisi. Make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is injury, let me sow love. close of this day, a prayer that we would become trombones and tubas and fiddles and flutes for peace, instruments of all. However we do it, may we sing and play and live in such a way that peace is increased on this earth. May it be so.